Hello, Judge. This is Mr. and Mrs. Franklin. Mr. Franklin, if you'll be seated, please. Mrs. Franklin, if you'll be seated. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Franklin. I see you two are alone. Am I to assume that you are not represented by counsel?
No. Do we need an attorney?
Whether or not to hire an attorney is up to you. However, in about 83% of the family cases that we see, the parties are not represented by lawyers. The family division is set up to help you resolve your case without an attorney. Okay, so I have the complaint for divorce filed by Mr. Franklin and Mrs. Franklin's answer. You two have been married for 12 years and you have 2 boys?
Yes. Joey and Jaden. They're 6 and 9.
And have the two of you exchanged your financial documents, such as W-2s, tax returns, bank accounts?
Why would we have to exchange that stuff? I mean, she knows everything that we have just as well as I do.
Nonetheless, you are required to share all of your financial documents with each other, just in case someone, may not have been aware of something or possibly forgot about an account or something of that nature, okay? The instruction sheets you received explain the financial documents you need to share with each other, and you can find further information on it on the Family Division's website.
Well, I have statements of all our accounts, but I didn't make copies. Is there a copier I can use?
Unfortunately, we do not have a copier for public use. You will need to arrange to make copies. And, when do you think you'll have those copies for Mr. Franklin?
I guess in a couple days.
Okay, and Mr. Franklin, when will you be able to provide Mrs. Franklin with your financial documents and finish answering the mandatory interrogatories?
Huh?
The questions set out in the packet of information that you received from the court after filing your complaint with the clerk of court?
By the end of this month.
Okay. And you both understand that it's important that you share all financial information with each other?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, have you attended the Families in Transition Seminar?
Why do we have to go to that? I didn't even want this divorce.
You're required to attend the seminar prior to coming to the 30-day status conference.
Oh, great. Now I have to pay $30 extra, take off more time from work, and go to a seminar that's a waste of time. I already know how to take care of my kids.
This seminar is very helpful in identifying issues involving children and helping you come up with ideas to keep your children out of the middle of the divorce. It's important to remember that your children love both of you, even if you don't love each other anymore.
How do we figure out who gets the kids? We both want them.
We can appoint a guardian ad litem. The guardian ad litem will need to meet with both of you and your children and make a recommendation to the court in regard to a parenting plan.
What's a guardian ad litem?
That's a person who has special training in issues that arise with children in a divorce. He or she is able to obtain relevant information concerning the child's best interest.
And how much is that going to cost?
After reviewing your financial information, the court may be able to make a guardian available to you through the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyer Foundation program at no charge. And even if you don't meet those requirements, there are lawyers who will serve as a guardian for a reduced rate, and they'll make it manageable for you.
How long will this take? Since he decided he wants out, the sooner the better.
It will take a couple of weeks to get one appointed, and then the guardian ad litem will need 2 or 3 months to do a thorough investigation. When the guardian ad litem has completed his or her parenting plan recommendation, if you still aren't able to come to an agreement about custody, then you can go to mediation, and the mediator will help you make that decision.
Why can't we just let the judge decide? I've been the one taking care of those kids, and then all of a sudden he wants to become dad of the year?
Really? I mean, are you going to feed her that bull? I've been coaching them in basketball and football since they started playing, while you work 12 hours a day and 1 weekend a month.
Somebody's got to put food on the table.
Oh, please, woman.
And what about you?
What about me?
You work until 9 o'clock every night and weekends, so don't be talking about my schedule.
Mr. and Mrs. Franklin, let me remind you, this is a court of law. Both of you are expected to act accordingly. Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Franklin, you both know more than a judge would about your situation and about your children and what is best for them. We don't have any magical powers to make a decision that would be better than the decision that the two of you could reach if you sat down and talked about it civilly.
He doesn't know what civil is.
See, this is why I want out.
Please, let's make every effort to be respectful to each other. Your children will be so much better off if they see you being polite to each other.
She's the one not being civil.
You both need to work on it. Now, we need to schedule your next status conference.
We have to come back again?
Yes. We need to make sure that your case moves forward and that you take advantage of all the services that we have to offer your family. Okay, let's schedule it for 2 months out to give us time to get the guardian ad litem appointed and allow him or her time to get the investigation underway. The guardian will come to the next status conference. Okay. We'll also need to plan to have you attend mediation that day. Also, please make sure that you have exchanged all your financial information. Let's see. That's going to be in July. How about the 12th?
The boys will be out of school. I'll have to bring them with me.
The children will not be allowed at the status conference as we don't want them too involved in the divorce process. You will learn in the Families in Transition seminar that you both need to protect your children. You don't want them to have too much information about this process, which means neither of you should be giving them too much information.
Well, of course. I mean, I never would. But he's been telling the children all kind of bad things about me.
You know that's a lie.
Please, neither of you need to be discussing this information in front of your children. Now, do either of you have any further questions?
My best friend Darlene, she gets like $5,000 a month in alimony. Can you make him pay me that?
Shoot, I don't make that much a month. How am I supposed to pay that? I mean, well, then what am I going to live on?
Your situation is different than anyone else's. You need to make decisions based on what you have and what you need. Are you two still living in the same house?
I'm looking to leave as soon as possible.
Okay. But you need to keep things as normal as possible for the kids. Okay, continue to pay your rent, your utilities, all your bills, as you did before the divorce. Okay? And that's what this order is going to state that you need to do. And I will see you guys on July 12th.